Hey everybody, it's Rob from Flailthroughs, and this is day 2 of the Gundam Battle Operation 2 beta on PC. It is 3:34 in the morning. There was a brief interruption of service while they worked out some custom round problems, and I'm going to make a few spins here because I got my login today, which was 60 tokens. There's also the free special supply drop they're giving everybody during the beta, so we're going to do 2 10 spins, and then as promised, we are going to do the tutorial missions, or not tutorial, but the training missions that Tenda has, because they will get you some useful stuff. Including, as I recall, I think some more tokens. So, fixed beam saber, that's probably for the Draw C. More Agi Vulcans, I had this level of them, so recycle tickets. And thank you to the people in the comments for the last video for straightening out the random blather I was trying to get points across with, because I kind of got distracted by things that were shooting me and all that. But in case you didn't watch the end of the video, I did figure out how to change my controls with the help of Aoshi-san. And that is, I am very grateful for the advice, because yeah, it's just, I cannot get my brain to switch out of the controls I've used for, oh man, close to 10 years now. Because I think I was a year or two into GBO1 when I switched over to this. But, yes, thank you, phone. I needed you to make noises during this. Level 3 standard beam saber. Basically everything in the universe can use that, or it feels like it anyway. Hyzak beam saber, and other beam sabers are significantly more specific. Okay, so almost done with this. Heat sword modified, and then I'll do the other one. Wouldn't mind getting double Zeta. I have it on the PS2, so it's not a huge thing. Level 1 Zaku Kai, that used to be a freebie for everyone who started the game. I know they're doing things slightly differently for this beta, but I'll be interested to see if people who start the PC version in the final get that. But it's 250 with a dodge roll. It's not bad. Okay, that's the first, and now we'll do the second. And I'll probably do a third when, if I have a chance to do some of the daily missions, but, yeah, right now is, training missions after this, so. Okay, first is, Agi Claws. Second, I'm just gonna wait long enough to see the color of the crate. Bronze. Stripped beam rifle for the gym light armor. Really excellent weapon, by the way. Gun barrel punch for various gun tanks. This is Hyper Bazooka modified for the powered gym and the Hyzak, among others. This is more Agi Vulcans that I already had. This is another bronze with beam rifle stripped level 2. This is, oh yeah, and I think I mentioned this in the video, but in the beta on the PS4, they did not let you keep everything when you got to the final. There were some bonuses for having been in the beta, very minor ones, but yeah, don't, okay, 2-star high output beam saber. I think that's for the GPO2. So don't be surprised if you don't get to keep any of this stuff when you go to the final game. Level 2 Zeta Gundam beam saber, that's not bad either. And standard beam spray gun for the regular gym. There's other things that can use it too, but that's the most common one. Yeah, as you can see, the gym light armor can use it, the gym cannon can use it, the gym trainer can use it. So, and that is all the rolls for now. And we're going to go do training missions. Pardon me if I'm making horrible noises. I didn't expect the game to come back up, and I didn't think I was going to be recording again, so. Okay, yeah. Learn basic combat and acquire necessary skills. Okay, we'll start with jumping. It's a good thing to know. Yeah, attempt. As you can see, going through this training, you do get the, you get the gym trainer from some of these missions, and that's actually a pretty good mobile suit at its cost, so it's worth having. Okay, so here we are in a bog standard Zaku. In addition to granting high-speed movement, your thrusters allow you to blast off in powerful vertical jumps. Yeah, so... yeah, you can steer yourself while jumping by holding the directional stick in the direction you want to go. I think they just want small jumps out of me, really. Yeah, that's one. Oh no, that's two. The first one did count. But I'll just stick with short ones to get to the next step. And let's see. Next is... yeah, it does use up thruster to jump. Raid types, which are generally but not always designed around melee combat, have a special skill called Assault Booster. It's similar to Maneuver Armor, which cancels out stuns while you're boosting. Assault Booster will cancel out some stuns while you're jumping. So it's a way to let raids get up onto rooftops like this without getting shot down by everything. If they get enough focus fire, or if something has a heavy stagger weapon, they can still get knocked out of the sky, but it's harder. Yeah, so we're going to hold down the button to charge a bigger jump. And that should get me up onto the roof. There's the first one, and there's that. And yeah, I just kind of previewed the next step, which is quick descend. I don't think I communicated how that works very clearly yesterday, but let's try it again. Let's see. Yeah, you can't. You are mobile while charging, but or while charging a jump. But yeah, if you press your crouch button, which for me is left trigger, during a jump to go straight down. Yeah, it lets you, changing the trajectory of your jump, very useful. And also, if you're charging a jump and you need to stop it immediately, you can use quick descent to do that. So, good skill to have, good thing to remember, because sometimes landing first will also let you get the drop on somebody if you're both falling through the air. So, yeah, and like Tenda said, jumps use the same amount of thruster gauge whether you cancel them or not, so that's just something to keep in mind. But, okay, that is the first training mission. And that's 5,000 DP, nothing wrong with that. Next is the firing positions. Yeah, crouch, prone, and sniper mode. This is a good thing to know. So, mobile suits can take various positions, and each of like crouching, going prone, and sniper mode, and each one adds a certain amount of bonus to your attack and defense. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, I'm going to crouch and shoot things. Yeah, because if you crouch... oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. As you can see, they've set this up so that you only have enough power to kill these things if you attack while crouched. So, yeah, so there's that. I believe the formula is still crouching gets you 5% extra damage, going prone gets you 10, and scoping in with sniper mode is an extra 5% on top of either of those. So, or on, or if you're just standing straight up on top of none of them. So, yeah, so let's see. This time they're going to want going prone, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Okay. Yeah, some mobile suits like tank types cannot go prone. They can kind of settle into their position to do extra damage, but I think that's only equivalent of a crouch. Meanwhile, some cannon types have bonus damage in a crouch, but a special skill that gives that, but also prevents them from tackling from a crouch. And that is something that most mobile suits can do, incidentally. So that's something to keep in mind, because, yeah, sometimes people approach you and think that you can't tackle from a crouch. You can, trust me. And, any chance you get to take people by surprise will help. Granted, I just ruined the surprise for anybody who's watching this video, but, Let's see. Yeah, so for this one, zooming in with sniper mode. Yeah, there is a skill that lets you use radar during sniper mode, but most mobile suits can't do it. Let's see. Yeah, so click the right stick, use the left stick to zoom in, and 1, and 2, and 3. And that is how you get those damage bonuses. There is the equivalent to crouching or going prone in space for a damage and defense bonus is remaining perfectly still. Yeah, shooting an enemy while prone and in sniper mode will increase damage by 15%. But yeah, it is really easy to get knocked out of sniper mode, so something that you may get used to doing if you play for long enough is scoping, firing, scoping out so you can see your radar and look around yourself and repeat. It can be, once you're used to doing it, it can be fairly easy to do. It just does take practice like anything else. Okay, there's that one. And this one should get me the level 1 Ag-Eye. Yeah, we're going to look at flinch, stagger, and topple. Which, those are important words, Rob. Things to know, because most of the gameplay is built around flinching and staggering and all that. Stagger most of all. But yeah. Flinching, staggering, and toppling. There's actually technically a 4th category called heavy stagger. Flinching. Okay, it's like I said, I never did these tutorials in English before. I don't think, so it's good to see these, flinching, just very briefly, will stop someone from firing or activating a weapon or skill. Like, if you try to tackle or swing your beam saber or whatever while you're getting hit with an attack that flinches, for that very brief second of contact, you can't do it. Okay, and now we're going to see staggering, which is, Let's see. Yep. Certain ranged weapons cause an MS to stagger when damaged. Staggering briefly disables both movement and attacks. Even ranged attacks with no stagger effect can eventually cause an enemy to stagger by dealing enough cumulative damage. All tackles and melee attacks except for power attacks, which are back on the stick and attack, will stagger the enemy. Some enemies can cause heavy stagger, which lasts slightly longer. It's actually significantly longer, frankly. It's a good 2 to 3 times as long. But here is, I'm just going to keep hitting it with the beam spray gun until it staggers. Yeah, that's the stagger reaction. And if you get hit with a bazooka, a lot of single shot beam rifles, or enough cumulative stagger, you will step back like that and not be able to do anything. Which is, if you've done that to somebody, of course, that's your cue to move in with the beam saber. But, heavy stagger drops you to 1 knee. It takes longer to resolve, and it gives nice big openings for follow-up. So, yeah. And we are going to, we're going to keep going through these. Let's see. Yeah, and this is topple. So, I can give a quick introduction to melee here while I'm doing this, which is switch to the saber. I think, we went through that at the beginning of yesterday, but just, this attack, there's the forward attack, which is fastest, the side attacks, which are nice, long, wide sweeping things for things that are It's very useful for things over your left shoulder where you frequently can't see. And then there's the power attack, the downswing, by most people's, but by most players call it that. Even though in some cases, your downswing is a shoulder tackle with a punching weapon, or it's a swift kick to the face with a punching weapon. But yeah, that's how that is. And yeah, it leaves them vulnerable until they start to get up, at which point their life bars go white and they have invincibility frames. If you get knocked down by a friendly, the invincibility frames do not last as long. So if you and an enemy both get knocked down by a teammate, you're going to be vulnerable first. So just keep that in mind, because they will probably attack you before you're ready to attack them. Yeah, so that is just something to keep in mind, and one of the many reasons why it's very important to learn the spacing on your melee attacks as well as you possibly can, because not only does knowing the exact range of your hitboxes give you a tremendous advantage over other people, it also, and here's our ally, so I'll go pick that and the gym trainer up, and let's see, 2 ground battles, 2 wins, 3 intermediate exercises. We'll do the intermediate exercises next, after I get the level 2 gym trainer here. Okay, wow, there's more beginner stuff than I remembered, so yeah, I guess I'll try and we'll see how long it takes me to do all the basic exercises, and if this video is already an hour long when I'm done that, we'll just, we'll do the intermediate ones hopefully next time, if there's time. If not, when the full game hits the market, I guess. But, yeah. You can, if you press Y on an Xbox controller, triangle on a PlayStation controller, it will tackle. Tackle does damage, it causes stun, and it also, exhausts your boost gauge, and, makes you invulnerable for a moment. But here is a tackle. As you can see, not a lot of damage. Some mobile suits have skills that increase the damage of tackles considerably. Zaku 1 being one of them, matter-of-factly. And pretty sure it has the enhanced tackle. It should, by rights. But yeah, the invulnerability only happens at a very specific part of the motion, and I don't always remember what part that is, so I don't remember frequently, when to hit the button. So, yeah, this is counters. Counters are when a tackle intercepts a melee attack. If it does, it restores your thrusters, and I'll tell the story of how that started happening in GBO 1, but, okay, come on. Too late. Yeah, I'm going to wait and tackle after the first swing from this range. That should be fine. Okay, do it again. There we go. Yeah, so that is what a counter looks like. You have the opportunity to follow up after a counter. But yeah, the reason that you get your thruster gauge back after countering is because in Gundam Battle Operation 1, it was the very rare support class that had a melee attack of any kind. There were no punches in GBO 1, so you could not go gun cannon boxing, you could not do any of that fun stuff, and once one enemy ate a counter, you were completely vulnerable to everything else around you. So they had to make it so that counters replenished your thruster gauge, because otherwise supports were just dead. Supports are frequently often just dead anyway, but it's just, it's just something that you get used to, hopefully. And basically your team will back you up on. That's, that's more subjective, but, just as a piece of advice to new players, try and back up your supports. They need it. They can do a lot of damage to general types at a great distance, and sometimes they're just going to need backup, because if the raids get to them, they will chew them up. So, okay, the level 2 gym trainer is mine. That's a good little mobile suit. Has dodge roll at 200. And our next is using your shortcut panel. Yeah. This was another addition to the game that came a couple of years in the middle of the Zeta Gundam block, basically. And it's the expanded quick swap is. The basic has been in since the beginning. But expanded quick swap is very, very useful. So, especially when you get into Zeta era things that have 73 different weapons. But yeah, so if you hold the right trigger, in my case, for my setup, default should be right shoulder button, I believe. You will get a shortcut panel that lets you switch to different weapons. And as you can see, they're not used because the Gym Cannon only has 4 weapons, but there are also diagonals that use button combinations. I've been told that apparently you can just use the number keys on your keyboard to switch between weapons, which, is very sensible for a PC port of anything, and, very, very useful. It's something I may have to... I don't know how useful it's going to be for me to reach down and just poke one of those from my controller, but it sure will be useful for people who play keyboard. Like, very useful. It's a very basic feature that other, mouse and keyboard games have, but just, I'm impressed that they actually thought to add it. So, okay, basic space training. That's good to know. We will go train in the space. And see, yeah, space, like I said, space is a little bit different in how these things work. There are a few abilities your mobile suit only has in space. And space-specialized mobile suits have a little bit more in terms of mobility and the ability to stop after a boost than most MS do. Yeah, so, man, the fans on my computer are running overtime. Yeah, there's basically an altimeter here to show your height on the battlefield. So, yeah, with my controller setup, A is ascend and the left trigger is descend. And I didn't quite do 3 seconds. There we go. Yeah, so... yeah, like I said, that's just my setup, because if I don't have it set up the same way on ground and in space, my brain will break. So, yeah, that's good advice. Yeah, getting above or below someone can be hard to counter, especially supports have a skill that makes them able to aim further up or down than most mobile suits can. So, gives them angles to fire from that a normal mobile suits cannot accomplish. So, yeah, so if I press booster during an ascent, and let the thrusters cool down a little bit. Yeah, and yeah, so you can use boost to go up or down faster, and sometimes just quick bursts of speed. Quick bursts of speed will give you a lot of inertia, so you will keep climbing or descending after you hit them. So that can be very useful, especially if your mobile suit has forced injectors and can change trajectories very quickly. Space compatibility tend to have improved thrusters, let them fly and turn faster, allowing for superior maneuverability. Yeah, it should be specialization, but it's always been translated as compatibility, so that's just a quirk of the translation there. And there was not when this tutorial was invented, but there is now water compatibility that lets certain mobile suits move faster in water, and some of their weapons can even be fired while boosting only in the water. So, very useful. There's emergency brakes, which are ascend and descend together. So, on my control setup, that's a little bit difficult, but a thing you can do while emergency braking is a quick turn, which I imagine is probably going to be the next step of the tutorial. But once you're braking, you can just move the camera very quickly to, start to aim at someone who's taking shots at you. So we're Are we doing the quick turn or not? Looks like not. But no, the quick turn is useful. If I got a chance with one of the other tutorials, I'll show it off, but it's handy. Like, the second you start braking, you can start moving the camera very quickly. So, let's see. I think, okay, only 2 more, bases and beacons, and things you can do outside a mobile suit. So we'll start with bases and beacons. Yeah, I don't usually play. I don't play that many games that put my fans through their paces quite that much. But should be fine. Still, just weird to listen to it pick up. Okay, yeah. So if your mobile suit has been destroyed, you can summon a replacement. There is a respawn time for your mobile suits, and it has to be ready to respawn. I've got to reset my pilot controls too. They don't match mobile suit controls yet. I'll do that when we're done the tutorials here. Let's see. Yeah, spending too much time out of your mobile suit can be kind of difficult at times. So and can be a disadvantage to the team. But yeah, here is support fire, which if you hold square, if I was using a PlayStation controller, and X on an Xbox controller, you can plant support fire, which, yeah, that yellow circle on the map is the range of the support fire, and that icon you can see is the countdown. When it hits 0, the bombs come down, and everything in the circle takes damage, or in the case of cost 100 Zaku's, ideally dies. The enemy team will get a warning about 5 seconds out from when your support fire starts. So they do get just enough of a warning to get out of the way if they're paying attention. If you can keep them busy or they're not paying attention, you can get some points. But yeah, here's another thing. You can plant a bomb at the base. You can respawn at the base like a beacon. You automatically repair when your mobile suit is nearby. The repair tool stacks with that, incidentally, so you can repair faster if you park by the base and get out to repair. And I am going to go in and plant a bomb. And I am hitting the wrong buttons because, like I said, have not set up my pilot controls. Oh well. I will remember to do that hopefully after this. So it's only a few minor changes. It should be good. Okay, yeah. So planting the bomb takes about 10 seconds. The bomb lasts for 60 seconds. So just for a few, for a few obvious things, if there's less than a minute 10 left in the round, there's no point planting the bomb. And you have to have at least 10 seconds left to defuse the bomb. So, just keep those costs in mind when you're planning a course of action. It is important. Yeah, if there's less than 2 minutes left, you do get 20% more points than normal. And yeah, that is a way to turn things around. But yeah, 60 seconds for the bomb, 10 seconds to plant, 10 seconds to defuse. Also, don't just plant a bomb even if there's nothing else you can think of to do, because your enemies actually get more points for defusing than you do for planting. 50 to plant, 150 to defuse. So, generally, unless you are just totally out of options, don't plant a bomb unless you really mean it. Okay, yeah, so here's some things to know. And I'm actually going to change my controls before I go into that, because I'm not quite right on that, I don't think. So, options. Okay, brain, come on. Key binding settings. Pilot, ground. Yeah, I want jump to be on A. I want high speed maneuver to be there. Crouch is left trigger. That should be everything I really need to change. So, Yeah, everything else... Oh, wait. Are the fire buttons? No. Okay, so yeah, I do need to change between change weapon and fire, too. So... There we go. There. That's my stuff there. Let me do the same here. Yeah, ascend there. Attack here. That should be everything where I need it. Okay. Going to save that so I don't have to do it twice. And now we'll go back and do the last tutorial and be at least somewhat convincing that I might at one point have known what I was doing in so doing. Okay, so yeah. But yeah, this basically makes all the controls more or less match. So the way I do it, you know, whatever works for you works. But I do recommend moving boost to one of the shoulder buttons of your choice, just because it does really improve your maneuverability when boosting. So yeah, so pilot knives kill in one. They have more range than you think. Like, mostly on the right, but yeah, just when you're having a scuffle with somebody, just bear in mind that you don't have to be dead on with the knife. It just has to graze them. And they're dead. Or they just have to graze you and you're dead. I'm sure you get it. But there is... Yeah, that is true. Yeah, blind corners inside a base, very, very useful for knifing. But yeah, don't use the knife on a mobile suit. It won't do anything. Okay, now we're going to do the jetpack thing, which works basically like space controls, except without the braking feature, I believe. So, yeah. So... Oops, yep. Okay, so it doesn't count quick descent. It doesn't count boosting, but yeah. Yeah, ascend and descend just like your mobile suit does in space. That's why I set space controls up to match my pilot controls. Because, again, I've been using these controls for 10 years, so... Yeah. I'm hoping it'll give a brief overview of weapons you have that you can use against mobile suits. But, yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, just boost forward, and as you can see, yeah, I can steer very easily with the right stick with my boost on left bumper. So, when pilots run out of boost on the ground, they drop to the ground, and like that, and until the thrust refills. You do not run out of boost in space. You can move as long as you want in any direction. But yeah. You also, the thrusters do refill a little faster, I believe, if you land than if you wait for them to run out on their own. Yes, and you can hijack enemy mobile suits. So, you know, if you have a friend and they've got a suit you want to try, you can go into a one-on-one room and try it out for about 60 seconds. Why 60 seconds? Because they self-destruct. Can't do this in all modes. You can do it in basic, though, which is the most common mode, so good to keep in mind. But yeah, you can steal people's mobile suits. Looks like we're not going to... Maybe, I don't know if we're... Yeah, 60 seconds and it will blow up. And if it blows up, you get the points. I believe the enemy team does get the points if they kill it, but I'm not 100% sure. But, yeah. The other two weapons a pilot has besides the repair tool... 3 weapons, actually. The other 3 weapons a pilot has besides the repair tool and the knife. They have an assault rifle, which does not do anything to mobile suits, but if you can land 3 good shots or 1 good headshot on an enemy pilot, you will kill them. And that is all the beginner training. They have flash grenades, which can stun a mobile suit or a pilot if they're spaced correctly. And there's my gym trainers and my Agi. And a bunch of DP. Okay, we're going to go do one round in one standard round so I can hopefully have a better showing than I did yesterday, and then we will call it for the day. Yeah, but like I said, at some point in the future, we'll look at the other ones, which they give more mobile suits than they used to. Skills and recovery times, battle simulations. Wow, there's a lot more of these. Yeah. Battle simulation ground. And these are all pretty good mobile suits. This is the G-Line light armor. It's excellent. Really good raid at 400. Gym Custom's a good general at 400. Full Armor Gundam comes in at 450. It is a support. Gelgug Marine is a raid. Can be used on space or on the ground. Zaku High Mobility, I believe it's the late type, which is the R2 Zaku, the space use one. That's a Hyzak Custom. That's a good support. Yeah, that's some really good stuff. The advanced training is all tokens, so yeah, and at least 2 kills without being killed in each of the 3 classes, both on ground and in space. So it can actually be somewhat challenging. Sometimes it's even challenging for me, honestly. But okay, yeah, let's just do a round before we give up for the night. That'll take us to about an hour video again. And let's see, what have we got? Don't want to go unrestricted. We'll go Arctic Base, because 550 Arctic Base, if I have, I can use the Gerbera Tetra again. I can hopefully show what I'm capable of a little bit better than yesterday. I also have the Powered Gym, the Zissa. In rated matches, you can go 50 below cost. In quick matches, it's 100 below. Sometimes you can do some mobile suits do better with that than others. If you're not sure of how well you're going to do, just stick to cost, is my advice. Yeah, aim for mobile suit weak points, work the legs, make sure you have waypoints, and make use of support fire. And I'll give my encourage, because I did get up to the bronze encourage level yesterday. So, and I did get my rating up to D flat from the starting spot of D minus, and got my first promotion, all off camera. But yeah, like I said, I'm hoping I can show off Gerbera Tetra just a little bit better. We've got a Black Rider that's under cost here. I don't think that's... I'm not thinking anything here is really a sin, since we're mostly, if you're not beginner players, you're transferring over from PlayStation, and there's going to be just a mix of skill levels at every rating, so, whatever happens, happens. So, let's see, once the other member of the other team is ready, we will move on to the match. But, yeah, hopefully I can show off the Gerbera Tetra a little bit better. It is very good. It is nimble, has a dodge roll, has a good charging beam rifle, which is my favorite style of weapon in the game. And it can handle itself pretty well. Possibly more so in space than on ground, but it's no slouch on ground. So, for some reason that I'm not aware of, my favorite mobile suit in the game, the early production Gelgug, does not appear to be here, which seems like the Gelgug Marine, seems like its beam rifle is not here either, which, may just be an admission that rifle is as good as I've always said, honestly. Because, yeah, Gelgug rifle stuns when charged, staggers, I should say, when charged, and can take big chunks of damage out of things even when it's not charged. So, excellent weapon. This beam machine gun is similar. You probably saw yesterday, but in case not, it has burst fire when not charged. So, you'll get a burst of, I believe, 5 shots, and when charged, it fires 1 shot that staggers. Trying to use the proper nomenclature and going against, many, many years of experience. Now, how this usually works is everyone circles around to the right, basically counterclockwise. It can be annoying and sometimes counterproductive. People often let their team members just kind of flap in the breeze to no good effect. Like, I am taking a lot of fire here because we're getting a little bit spread out. But as a friend pointed out to me, the practical aspect of doing Ring Around the Rosie is mobile suits with shields tend to have them on the left arm, so that keeps your blind spot and your shield arm to the wall. So it's harder to get jumped from there. And, yep, good, they got that. I saw a support over here. It is a Gyaradoga heavy weapons type. That is a gun that causes heavy stagger. That is basically the crux of melee combat right there. They used their tackle on me, and I was once they've used their tackle, I know they're out of boost and they can't counter me, and that is when you move in for the kill. You know, basically, if you can bait out somebody else's tackle, sometimes they will still have an opportunity to move if you can't follow up fast enough. But baiting out a tackle is pretty much the key to victory. If you absolutely have to, and I do this too often if you watch my videos, once someone else has tackled, you can use your own tackle to hold them still and get your melee weapon ready. They may still have a chance to hit you before you can hit them. Some things are just faster, but it's a little bit. It gives you a little bit of an edge in a lot of situations. So there is GPO3, which hit me in the feet. You can see the leg meter is going up there a little bit. And yeah, that's build stun. Things that protect against instant stuns, like beam saber swings and bazooka shells, do not protect against build stun. Some of those skills will reduce build stun, so it takes more, but I don't believe there are any skills in the game that completely cancel it. This is important because some weapons in the game don't do instant stun, they only do build stun damage. A good example are the shotguns used by the Camphor and mobile suits like that. They do build stun damage, so you know, if enough pellets hit, and it doesn't take many, they will stun. So just be ready for that, and because that can get even something with good maneuver armor, which is the stun protection skill, out of their boost. So just watch out for those. Yeah, Nurse Gundam has a really good video up on how build stun works. She's done a lot of good research on how things work in this game, and hopefully she will have more to say soon. And yeah, as a raid, I'm going to try and go after that Gyaradoga heavy. Teammates are trying to stop it. It is using a build stun weapon against me, which is wise. And as you can see, the entire team has actually come to support it. I commend them. I'm going to die, but I commend them. I may or may not. I'm out of boost, so I can't dodge or anything. So yeah, and they're all focusing fire really hard. So yeah, these people know pretty much what they're doing. They're protecting their support. So, you know, trying to close on that support is maybe not my best plan. I should probably stick with my team and take advantage of the fact that this beam rifle has a really good range. So I can stun it from a distance if I need to. I can just do damage against it. I can work its legs. And unfortunately, yeah, I'm about to the teammate I was going to try and protect died, so I'm going to spawn in alone. And I got knocked down in midair. Yeah, these are really actually quite good players on this team. As you can see by the score of 3,175 to 12,103. Somebody's already gotten tired of this and disconnected. There are penalties for that. You will not be able to get certain rewards after battles if you get a penalty. And the only way to discharge a penalty is to keep playing rated matches. So, you know, you may be having a painful time in rated, but if you bail, the pain just keeps coming. So, you know, word to the wise. You know, sometimes the lumps must be taken, frustrating as it is. I'd be lying if I said I have never bailed from a round. For one thing, I am on better medication now than I used to be, so I don't do that as much. But yeah, just it can be a frustrating game. There's no two ways about it. And sometimes, you know, I'm not really playing with any expectations from my teammates here because I'm expecting there are people new to this game. So, but managed to sneak up behind the Gyaradoga heavy weapons and kill it. Because we have the same melee priority, we bounce off of each other or clash. There are different melee priorities. As a melee raid, the Tetra probably has priority 3. And that Pure Bear Tetra is very smart. It got me stunned before I could get my boost back, and I'm never going to get back up. Yeah, so 2 minutes left of the round. Basically, we have no hope of winning this. None whatsoever. But, we'll still get points for it. We'll lose some rating points. That's okay. That may take me back down to D-. It's just a beta. So, in terms of the rating, you do get slightly higher rewards in terms of experience and DP when you're higher ratings, but that's about it. If you don't care about that, you don't need to care about rating too much. To get promotions and reach higher levels, which unlock certain things in the game, you will need to get certain ratings. So, it's not a bad idea to play rating matches. Like, for most people take ground more seriously, honestly, and so if you are just goofing around, play space. The space is where people go to just experiment, have a good time, whatever. Again, like I said, know your range better than your opponent. Unfortunately, my opponent has a better team, so just because, or at least has their team with them, I don't have mine with me. So, yeah, I'm going to die. But yeah, I knew my melee range just a little bit better than that GPO3 knew theirs, so I was able to get the drop on them temporarily. And one of my teammates, probably our heavy Doga, was able to finish them off. So we're only going to lose by a 4-1 margin, but I'm just going to plant some support fire because I'm just getting focused to death by what I'm almost 100% certain are veteran players every time I spawn. So, see, this is the spawn near our base, so my mobile suit will come here. Mobile suits drop at different places depending on where you are. If you're near your base, you will get a closer spawn to the checkpoint than you do at the enemy base on Arctic. And let's see. Nope, Gyaradoga came down from there. So, but yeah, we have lost. We have very much lost. And I'm just going to do what I can while I can because I'm here. And they've almost shot our base to death, too. Besides planting bombs, you can just do enough damage to an enemy base to blow it up. So, and oh boy, my first sarcastic tell on Steam. That was worth it. Yeah, so they did 1530. I did 60,000 damage. I'm going to go for one more round just because I want to try and show off a little bit better than that. That's right, we're not going to lose rating, because when someone disconnects, they tend to give you a modifier so that you don't lose any rating points. So, yeah, so I'm holding at 1528. That's good. And I am now level 2 private first class. And let's see. Yeah, 100% chance of that. It's a gold box. It's a gold box with tokens. Excellent. And that gives me... I got the heavy Gyaradoga, because this is my 5th ground battle. Heavy Gyaradoga is fun. If we had 550 on a larger map, I'd bring it just because, they did pretty well in this round, but I feel like it benefits more from a larger map because it has really good range. And also, if your raids know what they're doing, they can demolish those things. I could take that thing down, but it's just, I need 3 other things not to be killing me when I'm doing it. Okay, what do I have at 450? Do I still just have G4 and G5? Yeah, those are the only things at 450. Do I have the machine gun for the Isaac yet? Yes, it is using the Zaku machine gun custom, but only level 1. Interesting. It can't. The Marasai beam rifle is not in the beta. That's fascinating. I do have the matching saber for that, but I don't know. Isaac can be tricky. I kind of want to do it, but I could go with Black Rider instead, which has some of the same benefits and a lot more going for it. Oh heck, let me take the Zeta Gundam, which I really enjoy using, into an unrestricted round. I will probably die. I'm not going to lie, but I'm going to try it. I do have a level 2 saber, so since it's unrestricted, I can use that. Going to stack on as much. I'm going to put some extra melee. Its melee strength is weaker than its range strength, but it has some really good melee attacks. It's actually a good all-rounder, but I particularly enjoy its melee, so that's what I'm going to go with. At higher costs, beam weapons tend to be a little bit more prevalent. I've also put on as much of that kind of defense as I can. It's just melee from here. And yeah, I don't have any other custom parts to slap on here yet. Let me see. I have 75k. I can probably get some more. Let's see if I can get something useful. And then we'll go back into one more round, and then we will call it for the night, because it is 4:30 in the morning. I don't know if it's dedication or brain damage, but, I'll leave that up to you. Custom parts. Okay. Attack, I could get the level 3, 4, and even 5 if I got enough points together of both melee and firing. Here's a tip for you. The melee part actually is easier to slot on most things and is more... it uses more slots that the other melee parts do not. If you use the level 5 ranged part, you can't put a lot of other ranged parts. If you use the level 5 melee part, you can still put a lot of other melee parts. So you can get your melee generally jacked up on lower level suits than you otherwise would be able to. Okay, I'll take this. I can't use it because it's... it's all bottom slots, which I've got filled out on the Zeta. I could give it 800 hit points. I could give it even more melee resist. I could reinforce its shield. I could up its walk speed a little bit, which probably not a bad idea. And thruster capacity, since using up thrust, or since transforming uses up thrust, that's a good thing for transformables to have, so... And some miscellaneous things here. That makes things with auto-aim, like machine guns and things, lock on a little bit wider area. This reduces status effects. There are status effects in this game. For example, the Zissa has basically napalm weapons that cause fire damage over time. This will recover your heat-based beam weapons quicker. This part will, these parts will reload your EPAC weapons and your ballistic weapons faster. This lets you, focusing rings let you charge beam weapons. Thruster recovery parts give you a little bit faster thruster recovery. This one also has higher thrust, extra thrust capacity, much like the other parts I bought. And database link gives extra damage to the legs, head, and back. So if you're building something with for leg breaking and you have enough slots, usually on like a gun tank or something with a lot of long range slots, these can be useful. Space frame is another just kind of random part, or generic, I want to say all round part. Gives a little bit extra thrust or a little bit extra hit points. If you're fighting a lot of leg breakers, special leg armor will put more of your overall hit points into the leg bar. So, usually it's 60% of your hit points have to be drained from your legs to break your legs. If you take one of these, it is overall 65%, or 70, or 80, or 90% overall of your mobile suit's legs. Some things do get bonuses to leg damage, but yeah. Also, as you'll notice, these parts actually have a little bit of damage reduction from the legs, so you will not just need to take more damage to the legs to get them broken. You will have take less damage overall, and the damage reduction parts for the head do the same. Head damage reduction usually not that useful. On something like the Ag-Eye or the Agu-Guy, which has a gigantic dome, that might actually be useful. Because of the damage reduction part of it. Never thought of that before. Damn, I'm dense. But the back part only shields your backpack in space. So I think you may get the damage reduction if you're hit there regardless, but in terms of protecting you from part break, it is only useful in space. And backpack breakdown in space basically means you can barely even move. So, however, on most mobile suits, it's kind of hard to hit that backpack. So, there's give and take. Okay, so we will increase thrust, we'll increase movement speed, and I'll sacrifice 3 points of melee defense to get, okay, nope, that's not enough. I'd have to have top slots, so do I want to sacrifice 2 points of melee to get more, thrust? Well, I'd have to sacrifice more than that, so no, I do not. Okay, we'll go with this setup. Oh, one thing I nearly forgot. Zeta Gundam has more than 4 weapons, so here's where those advanced part slots come into play. And yeah, its beam bayonet is part of its beam rifle. Very useful. Has a really wide swing that people sometimes have trouble dealing with. Okay, so let me see. If there's a 600Q in quick, great. If not, I'll take something unrestricted. Let's go with unrestricted military base. That's a good map. It has a lot of space to fly around. So, since I'm taking in a transformable mobile suit, that's a good choice. So yeah, like I said, Zeta Gundam's good. I like it. It's it may not fare as well here, though. There are 650s in here. I don't think there are any 700s in the demo, so it's not going to be totally outgunned. It's just going to be partially outgunned. And since this is unrestricted and, with people who do not have mobile suit rosters as filled out as I'm used to fighting on the PS5, it may not be as bad as I think. Or, like Arctic Base, it may be worse. I'd like to get like one round of this recorded where I actually do well. But, I sometimes do well. I have, I have over 1,000 videos of this game because I've been doing it since it came out. That's slightly terrifying. But, yeah. I only missed a few days when I was in the hospital and when the power went out. So, that is... matter of fact, I think the hospital I managed... my brother kept it going while I was in there. So, again, ridiculous dedication or just, the brain failure. I don't know which. I really don't. But okay, I've seen this kind of like lag on the PlayStation as well. Probably I'm going to get kicked out of this room in a second. That does happen. Hey, at least we're getting the full GBO2 experience, so everybody will get to see how this works. Got to forming teams, I think, so it may actually resolve properly. Let's see. And pardon me while I lean far, far away from the camera and take a drink. Will he remember to edit out the drinking and the chair squeak at 5 o'clock in the morning? Probably not, no. Okay, yeah, failed to form teams, that's an error. Like when one person or a few people have trouble connecting to everyone else. That's an error you'll get. That question mark is probably the issue. Yeah, it says it's still searching for players, but we've got 12 out of 12. Yep, the question mark dropped. So... this is being a little bit clunkier than it is on PlayStation, so there is the small but hopeful chance that this will all work better in the final. Okay, we're trying to form teams. We failed again. So it's probably not them, it's probably me, so I'm going to bail out and try again, because sometimes once you get a certain number of errors, it's better to just do that. So, okay, let's try this. Let's see. Yeah, so... but yeah, I'm glad, there have been a couple of downtimes while they fixed things, but I'm really glad the beta actually worked this time. I'm glad that for one I was able to record it, and, just overall, I think it's going fairly well. Hopefully this means, we won't have to wait long for the final game. And, yeah. It is free to play, it is token based, there is, the platinum medal is kind of vaguely battle pass-ish, and those are all things that I have mixed feelings about, but in all honesty, I really do enjoy this game, especially when I'm playing with friends, and it just got such a roster. I can't think of too many other Gundam games that have this many Universal Century mobile suits in one place. And, adding one a week since the game started in 2018. So the fact that they were able to add one a week, still do special clan match mobile suits, special promotional mobile suits, and work on the PC version all at the same time is, just staggering. Please do not crunch these developers. Please give them plenty of time off and naps, because they need it. Make sure they have good snacks, and, good pay, all that good stuff, because, that's just, respect your labor, pay your labor. That's where I'm at. Now we just need one more person. The fact that it's taking this long, honestly, no joke, could just mean that somebody is, hanging after disconnecting. We may have a ghost player for a few moments in that 12th slot. It happens. And, if nothing changes, if nobody comes or goes in a minute or so, I will bail out and try this again. And then we might start looking at trimming some stuff. But, this controller does feel really good, though. Let's see. Anything? Anybody? No, this is kind of getting silly, so I'll give it one more minute. Not even a full minute, just maybe about 10-20 seconds. And if nothing happens, I'll bail. And probably the second I bail, it'll say, hey, here's number 12. Well, 10 left. Let's see if that's enough to jostle things. 9. Yeah, that looks like it could have been enough to, get things going. 12 of 12, but if so, one of them is invisible or hasn't fully popped into the room yet. Like I said, this is nothing I haven't seen on the PlayStation version of the game. If you look for the Gazome Gunner type video I posted a few days ago, that was run on PSN, and we just had a full-on old-fashioned net split where half the players disappeared. Unfortunately, more of that half was from my team than the enemies. And, okay, one more try. If it goes to 12 and nobody shows up, or if it doesn't go to 12 after a few more seconds, I'm just going to bail and give it one more try, because this is kind of ridiculous. Here's our 12 forming teams. Please form teams properly. Failed to form teams. Yeah, it's time to bail and try again. Okay, I may just have to abandon the idea of using the Zeta and go to a different cost if unrestricted basic keeps acting this way. But we'll give it one more try, because like I said, I like this military base map. It's a fun map. So, okay, here's 12. Please put us in a room. Please? We're in a room. Oh man, this is a super unbalanced team. Okay, we've got Quests Yagdoga, which is not bad. 3 GPO4s, which are about 100 points down, so probably can't even be played at this cost. Oh wait, this is unrestricted, yeah, so... Now, there's a theoretical cost of $650, because that's where most of the mobile suits in the game right now max out. That Bound Dock for one is $650. I think that level 3 Full Armor 7th Gundam is also a $650. Questoga is as well. GPO4s are $550s. I forgot about them when I was talking about the introductory lottery. They are another support. Somebody pointed that out in my comments, and thank you for that. But they're good machines. They do a lot of damage. And, okay, yeah, and people are kind of hesitating because of our team composition here. You'll see a lot of that in Rated, trust me. I feel like during a beta, when nobody has a lot of mobile suits, it's plenty forgivable. So we'll see, we'll see what the other team has. If we have a whole team full of Bound Docks staring us down, we may be looking at another beatdown like I just had. But let's see what we see. And then, like I said, regardless of the outcome of this match, I will probably stop it there because, yeah, sleep is a thing I should probably have. Also, I do need to be up somewhat early tomorrow for a medical thing for my mom. So, yeah, I'm being stupid here, but, I've been waiting for this beta for, 9 months, so I kind of wanted to stick with it. get some coverage out there, get some play done, see how it's running, see if anything is, not what I expect, and hopefully provide some useful advice here and there. Okay, nice to meet you is the customary greeting, and good work is generally how rounds are ended by the Japanese players. So that's the what the etiquette became. That's right, you can't fit through that space. I always try. It never works. But okay, yeah, I'm going to take this point. It's good, the points at the front can be the most valuable, but also just making sure you have some kind of fallback position, very, very important. Okay, so let's see what transforming is like. It is like transforming. If you boost, you move faster. If you hold the crouch button, you'll move slower. I'm going to get over here, though, and you can steer the camera to adjust your landing spot a little bit. So I did obstruct one of our GPO4s just a touch. But yeah, the big problem with having this many supports, honestly, is that, as you can see, the team is kind of spread out. GPO4 is not a bad support to have in that situation because they can fight up close. They actually have, I believe, that balancer and melee combo controller, so they can do 2-hit combos after boosting. But yeah, it's tricky. I would love to approach over there, but I'm just going to throw out some things like grenades and just kind of harass from the sides. Because, that is a Quest Yagdoga coming after me. And it locked onto me with funnels. You can evade funnels. It's not easy. Speaking of not easy, there's a Cubile behind it. That's a 650 as well. Yeah, I am underpowered for many things on the enemy team. That is one thing I was afraid of, but, see, that last one shot went slightly over the Cubile's head. But yeah, this is why I wanted to lean into beam damage, because funnels are all beam weapons. Oh, hi! I nearly backed into this, I think it's a Gilgug Vertex, so stunned it, killed it, there we go. Now, boost is back. I have one shot in my E-Pack. I may or may not get a good place to throw it. Oops, glad I didn't. The Boundock kind of snapped into position in front of me, and that would have been bad. So, yeah, stunning your teammates bad. There is a sorry tell. I recommend it. Out. For situations like the one where I just got shot in the back. But, let's see. That's also a Zeta. My E-Pack is recharged. Oh man, that Boundock skirt just took up my whole camera. The Zeta Gundam has a biosensor. And again, just better knowledge of your hitboxes. Didn't do me a lot of good here either, but I did, you did see that I was able to turn to where I could actually downswing and hit it. But yeah, Zeta has a biosensor mode. It gets enhanced attack, defense, and speed when at very low health. It has a double dodge roll in that mode, and better boost efficiency. One thing it does not do, unlike there are modes that are activated with the special feature button, like the Zeta's transformation. The Pale Rider series Hades mode is activated like that. The exam mode on the Blue Destiny units. And no, I'd like to keep that point, please. Oh, that's ours. Glad I missed him. And maybe I could... Okay, I think that was a Doga. Nope, Regelgu. No, not Regelgu. Gelgug Vertex. There is a difference. Let's see. Please keep the Vertex busy. I see you there. And if I live long enough, I can throw out some support fire. I lived! Good. But yeah, the modes that you activate manually, like Exam, Hades, a few other things along those lines, those will repair your head and legs when you activate them. New Type Destroyer does as well when the Unicorn Gundam gets in this version. All that said, biosensor does not. So you get higher mobility. You can do a lot more weaving with the forced injectors and all that stuff. You are more likely to build up stress on your legs and fall on your face. So just watch out for that. I really want to show off this bayonet because it has a really great set of moves that have fantastic range. But I need to get closer to anybody than I've been able to get to use it. Well, here we go. They did tackle, but they did not catch me with the tackle. I'm going to take a ton of damage here. I'm going to call for help. RG5... yeah, I'm already dead. They had plenty of time to kill me. Yeah, our 7th Gundam was somewhere back there, was not helping me. Honestly, I don't blame them. The Vertex is a raid. They could have gotten, picked to shreds, but just like I did. But we've got 3 minutes left. If I could find a good position to get around the enemy team and fly up to the base, I'd probably plant the bomb, but that still wouldn't be enough. So, but yeah, the sad truth of it is that generally raids can destroy supports faster than supports can kill generals. So it does end up being a certain amount of imbalance there. So we have a lot of supports, so they have to generally do a lot more work to kill generals, and so do I. So yeah, so they seem to have a little bit more of a balanced team, and it is going to work out in their favor, I think. Beam rifle is shared across modes on the Zeta. It has some beam guns exclusive to Wave Rider mode, so I was able to use those. You can also crash into people with the Wave Rider. I don't know if this version has added the additional damage that Zeta now gets when crashing into things. It has ram attack bonuses. But yeah, I'm taking too many hits from too many directions. Shield's gone, so at least I'm a little faster. Biosensor's up, so that's also speed. As you can see, my legs aren't doing so well, and I'm out of boost. Okay, I misjudged that, but here's the downswing. I just wanted to show it. Well, that's only half of it. It's a 2-hit downswing, and it's really neat. And we have managed to come back pretty well, though. 78-13. We're about halfway there. I'm not sure we have time to get the other half, but it's getting better. And yeah, I just, I have as many bad rounds as anybody, and I feel bad that I have not really shown off what I can do particularly well, but I am showing off why I don't do this live anymore, because on days when I'm more frustrated than I am at this particular moment, this would not be fun for me or anybody else, and I would probably not be able to be as I'm trying to be as educational as possible, so people who don't know the game can tell what's going on. Yeah, tag that Cubile. That's the Vertex. It was ready for my melee, and it's also colored like Mickey Mouse. That's interesting. Okay. Unfortunately, there is no Alert Disney's Lawyers buttons, so it's trying to weave around. I was not able to get the counter. I was able to do some damage. And yeah, it's one of the higher level melee raids that can just combo for a very long time, but it has to be able to reach you. So that's a kill. Nope. Okay, I died before I could counter that Quest Doga, and the round is over. And we lost by a factor of about 2-1 instead of 4-1. But yeah, the Zeta Gundam's downswing is it does that lunge, and then it does a wide sweep that knocks things down. Great move. Often catches things by surprise. You just have to watch out around your allies. I was top diversions again. I'm not terribly surprised there. Our Bound Dock did pretty well. So did our Quest Doga. It did really good damage. Yeah, top diversions means that I was on the enemy team's screen more than anybody else. So 3 kills, 4 deaths. Not great, but okay. I did drop a rating level for that. No assists. Pursuit assist, which is basically damage you do that stuns enemies that are attacking your allies. I'm pretty sure that's how pursuit assist is figured. But I'm up to private first class level 3. And this should be another crate. It is another crate. It's a bronze crate, so probably... Oh no, level 2 Zaku. Nothing wrong with that. And yeah, that's my 2 ground battles. And yeah, I have not won any battles since I went over to this new soldier mission. This is a 100 recycle ticket, so it's not really as crucial as the other ones. I want to see if I can look at what step 3 is, though, because I don't remember. I think it's a decent mobile suit, but I don't recall. So we'll look at that, and I think I will have enough for another 10 spin once I collect my tokens from Needhart, and then we will call it there. Directives list. Directives list? Must be this button. Yes, it is. Yeah. Okay, no, I can't see step 3 until I'm done with step 1. Or step 2, in fact. Yes, step 2. Oh, brain. I know you went to bed already. Don't feel bad. Okay, so yeah. Okay, no, I need a single token to do that swing. So, alright, well, I'm going to do that swing. We are going to extend the length of this video by another 90 seconds. We're just going to go to the advanced training, and we are going to pilot a raid and destroy at least 2 mobile suits, hopefully without being defeated for 90 seconds. I think this is something I should be able to do. Watch me be wrong. But what raid are they putting me in? That's half the information. G-Line Light. I can absolutely do this. G-Line Light is fantastic. And, yeah. 90 seconds, kill 2 MS, survive. Alright. Okay. G-Line Light's claim to fame, it has missiles you can fire while boosting. And it has a charging beam rifle that does pretty good damage. So, yeah. And if you are fast on your feet, you can do a lot of things. So, I'm hoping to do a lot of things. It also has a shield, which not a lot of raids do. Or not all raids do, I should say. Zaku should have been able to tackle me. Sometimes the AI thinks to, sometimes it doesn't. And I don't have boost, so it can walk up and do that, and I'm dumb. Not that it's going to live too long for the privilege. Yeah, those missiles are good. Didn't quite kill it. Let's leg this Zaku. 49 seconds left. I am taking damage, and, my armor is light. It's a light armor, so... Oh boy, I'm taking damage. Please don't let me dumb out of this at 5 in the morning. I'd like to finish this and I've got enough stuff for my win, so now all I really have to do is play keep away. Kind of hard to do for 30 seconds on this map, but the good news is that the only thing that has a stunning weapon is the Gym Sniper, which, since it is a instant stun, my maneuver armor will tank that. I just have to not overheat my thrusters and hopefully not get in line of sight with it without, without being ready to dodge. So, if I charge my rifle, I can... only 5 seconds needed? Good. I'll move in and kill that Zaku, and we're done. Okay, yeah, so there's my tokens, 3 out of 2. That'll do just fine, and we'll do a 10 spin and call it a night. So, yeah, I could have done better, but again, since I was, playing defensively, since I definitely wanted to clear this, I'll take it. So... and it all just kind of depends on the day like anything else, so. But yeah, the advanced challenges can actually be tough. The space ones in particular require a lot of... When the space support challenge, basically, pick off the things you can, where you can, and then just, try and keep the Dracies away from you for as long as possible. I don't know if we're going to get to the advanced challenges for as long as this beta lasts, because... realistically, I've only got one more night with it, and that's also the night that GBO2 updates on the PlayStation Network, so I will be having to do a video about that as well. So we'll see how that all goes, but for now we're going to close off with a 10 spin, and then, just call it a night. See, the limited supply drop has a rate increase on the double Zeta, so we'll do that. Usually the ones that have rate increases like this also have, give you, frequently uniform parts, helmets and pilot suits, things like that. So, that's how a lot of the, unique costumes have been distributed so far. Okay, our first drop is a Medea, and it is a bronze crate with a level 4 gym light armor. That's fun to use. This is a Fat Uncle, so probably a silver gold crate. It is a silver crate with level 3 Zaku Bazooka. Good to have. Very, bread and butter kind of weapon there. A lot of Zakus that use it. And it stuns, which is important. Rail cannon for the Gym Ground type MMSV version. And another bronze. Level 4 Gym. Not a bad thing to have either. The Gym doesn't have any special features like all of its various... subgroups do, but it has more equip slots than anything else. Level 500mm machine gun. There's a lot of things that can make good use of that, especially the ground types, like the EZ-8, the Gundam ground type, all of those. And the standard Gym and the Gym Cannon can both use it as well. Level 3 Gym Cannon, not a bad thing either. I think that's 250. Might be 200. Hard to say. And a gold crate, which is the double Zeta. Hey, I'll take it. And, I'll try and at least get a round out with the double Zeta, I think, before this is over. Level 2 Beam Saber for the Pale Rider D2. As you can see, expect just a lot of weapons and beam sabers in the lottery when you're waiting on that 3-star you've been trying to get, or worse yet, a 4-star. But yeah, that's just a thing. Level 1 Gym 2, that's not a bad thing to have either. Yeah, that's a decent 10 spin, especially with the double Zeta, which I hope I might get a chance to show off. One of the things that is kind of occurring to me as I do this is I really do rely a lot, I feel like, on my defensive equipment loadouts on most of my suits. There's some things I build for damage, and I can run things for damage when I want on a good day. But a lot of times I'm building for defense, and yeah, I'm just taking a lot more damage a lot quicker than I'm used to. Also, again, I think we've just run up against some really good teams that knew how to focus us down. And that is, when the enemy team is better at focusing your team down one at a time than your team is at responding to that, there's just not a lot you can do. So I'm going to have to just get my defensive play skills back in order, not rely on the toughness of a mobile suit and just stick behind cover, shoot things where I can. Double Zeta is good for that because it has missiles that can fire while boosting, so that opens a lot of defensive options. Missiles that you can fire while boosting are pretty much my favorite type of weapon other than charging beam rifles. So anyway, if you've watched all the way through this, thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy GBO2 when you get to play it. So that is going to do it for today's Gundam Battle Operation 2 Day 2. We will be back soon with some kind of GBO2 coverage. Maybe it will be more PlayStation stuff for sure. Might be more beta stuff depending on the time I have. We'll see. But regardless, until next time, everybody take care and have fun. Later!